Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel and thanks for logging on. Today I'm going to be your guide to the usage, care, and maintenance of your Bell & Ross vintage BRV192 black steel. It's important to note that this is an automatic winding timepiece. Underneath the case back there is an automatic winding rotor. Nevertheless, you can manually wind the timepiece by taking the crown in its first position, flush to the case, and turning in a clockwise direction. 25 to 35 turns will be sufficient to start the watch. At this point you can set the time, set the date, and the watch will continue to energize itself and run correctly on the wrist. But should you wish to wind the watch to its maximum rated power reserve of approximately 38 hours, simply continue turning the crown in a clockwise direction. You'll find that there is a subtle click or tick from inside the watch. That is the bridle style mainspring slipping by design to relieve excess tension. You cannot accidentally overwind the watch, but that subtle audible sign will be your cue that the watch is fully wound. Otherwise, use a rule of thumb of 40 to 50 turns to maximum wind. It's also important to note that there are two subsidiary features that can be used to set your watch more precisely: the stop seconds function and the quick set for the date. Now, the best way to use the stop seconds function is actually to wait for the constant seconds hand to align with the index at 12. You then go online, find a accurate reference such as an atomic clock for your time zone, and what you want to do is you want to stop the seconds hand at the index at 12. Then you want to set the hour hand to the current hour, and then finally you want to set the watch to the next nearest minute. And I'll demonstrate exactly how this works. You're going to pull the crown out gently 2 detents, and you will feel them. Now the watch is in stop seconds or hacking mode. You're going to adjust the hour so that it is the current hour. Let's say, for example, it is currently 4:04. We're going to set the watch to 4:05. And now we're going to wait for our reference time to catch up to our watch that we've set to the index at 12, the current hour, and the next nearest minute. When the reference catches up to the second, you push that crown back down, and now the watch has been synchronized to your reference. That is how you use stop seconds. Now, there is another function known as the quick set for the date. Rapidly cycling the date at 4:30 is useful should the watch run down or encounter an irregular length month. However, it's important to note that when you pull the watch's crown out to the intermediate setting position between winding and stop seconds, that the watch not be between the hours of 9 p.m. and 3 a.m., as this is the period during which the watch is in its danger zone, automatically jumping the date. Trying to change the date with the quick set during this period can damage the watch, so always take care of the time of day before using the quick set, and if you must rapidly change the date during that period, manually roll the minute and hour hand through midnight and then past 3 a.m. for safety before setting the date. Now, by turning in a counterclockwise direction, you can rapidly cycle the date. This is the quick set function. Once you reach the current date, push the crown back down. It is important to review 3 primary hazards that every luxury watch encounters: water, magnetism, and shock. Now, water is the most dangerous, though this is a water-resistant watch to 100 meters and thus suitable for aquatic activities but not professional diving. It's important to note that leather, as featured on the strap, is a porous natural material that is never water-resistant, so always be sure to dry the leather immediately should it become moist, and never submerge it or take it in the water intentionally. A water-resistant band should be used for aquatic use. The timepiece is rated to 100 meters, but it's important to remember that you can help avoid accidental drownings by keeping the crown flush to the case and disused. Don't wind it, don't use it for setting whenever the watch is in water, or simply when there is water on the case. You don't want to bypass the seals and introduce water to the interior of the watch. It's also important to remember that water resistance, as rated from the factory, is not a static feature like mechanical specifications. Over time, as seals age and lubricants degrade, a watch will be relatively less water resistant. Therefore, Bell & Ross recommends, at a minimum every 24 months, having the timepiece dry water tested at a Bell & Ross authorized service center. Now, if the watch is in a service center for a water test, this is a good time to have the total condition of the watch holistically: cosmetic, strap condition, water resistance, and precision tested by your authorized service center. It's also important to note that whereas water is ubiquitous and quite dangerous, magnetism is also omnipresent but unseen, and therefore Take note of powerful static magnets, such as the closures of wallets, purses, refrigerator doors, speakers and subwoofers, as well as high-powered electronics, such as consumer devices and high-powered wiring looms in the home and offices. Magnetic flux can magnetize the ferrous hairspring that's at the center of your watch's heartbeat. If magnetized, a watch may run quickly, it may run slowly, but it will run erratically, and if you suspect that your watch has become magnetized, a Bell & Ross authorized service center can quickly and easily demagnetize the watch with specialized equipment. It should be noted, however, that concussion and shock pose more severe hazards to your watch that are far harder to reverse and remedy. Concussion and shock is experienced while riding mountain bikes or ATVs, while participating in firearms marksmanship, or concussive sports such as batting, tennis, and golf. At minimum, can alter the timing of your watch. Maximally, they can stop the watch or even shatter the crystal. So take care to disuse the watch during those activities. Ultimately, even a properly used watch, by virtue of being a fine, hand-regulated, and hand-finished timepiece, will need to go back to the same kind of artisans who originally produced your Bell & Ross. Therefore, Bell & Ross recommends every 3 to 5 years servicing your watch comprehensively with an authorized service center of Bell & Ross or the factory itself. During a comprehensive overhaul, cosmetic condition will be restored as presented by the factory. The strap, if worn, will be replaced. Water resistance will be restored to factory specifications. The movement will be disassembled, examined, cleaned, oiled, and adjusted, and your watch will be delivered to you with a Bell & Ross factory service warranty, and only authorized service centers are able to back labor and parts invested with a Bell & Ross factory service warranty. Moreover, only these agencies are equipped with the trained personnel, the specialized tools, and the original factory Bell & Ross replacement parts to protect the value of your watch as both instrument and as investment. Visit our website at govbergwatches.com and call, text, or email our experts who will be happy to walk you through every phase of the ownership of a Bell & Ross timepiece.